Hello. On the 19th of February 2014 I uploaded my first video to YouTube. That was 10 years ago. This is an homegrown veg anniversary video back in the day. I found that original video and I'm going to cut you to it shortly. But let me tell you a little about it first. It's a video about purchasing sweet potatoes really, because that's what I was doing at the time. The potatoes were on the floor in a shop in a Hessian sack with the varieties on a label stamped to the sack. So there was an open topped sack on the floor with potatoes in it and the variety on the label, and there was a number of these sacks. So basically it was a pick and mix. Pick the ones you want and purchase them. Now this was an oldie worldy shop. It's an ironmonger's. It's still there today under new management, but nevertheless it's still there today. Or you may know them as a general store, selling household goods, building and gardening products in the main. The goods were sold by weight. And back in the day they were sold by the pound. Payment was by cash. They didn't take plastic, not then they didn't. Anyway, I purchased 12 seed potatoes and they cost me £2.50. That's 21 pence each. I don't know what they are now because I very seldom purchase seed potatoes. I'd like to grow some store-bought potatoes. It's worked well for me over the years. I can't see any reason why I should spend more for seed potatoes when store-bought potatoes work perfectly well. The till was a drawer under the counter. It wasn't even a till. And the receipts, well, that's another story. And I'm going to come back to that story in a minute, and I'll cover it later in this video. But first we need to watch that video. Go to the video. I've just been down to my local shop to get my early seed potatoes. This is a doggy do bag. Unfortunately, I had quite a few of these in my pocket when I went to the shop because I needed quite a variety of potatoes and I needed to keep them separate. So the lady was kind enough to let me pick out the ones I wanted, put them in these bags and give me a ticket so I'd remember what they were. So if you have a look at these, there's a Pentland Javelin. There's a couple of Pentland Javelin there. Haven't started chitting up yet. That's fine because it's still quite cold. It's only the first week in February. My garden's got standing water in it, and if I look onto the Western Lake District fells, which I can see from my kitchen window, there's snow on the tops, and when there's snow on the tops you get cold winds. It's a couple of rocket. Again, the lady made the card out. I think you can possibly see that these are just starting to chit the rocket. Nice sound potatoes. The reason I've only got a small quantity of each is because I'm going to be growing these in 30 litre pots. Sorry, not 30 litre pots. What size are those pots? 10 litre pots. Sorry, I'm growing in 10 litre pots. And I only want to put one set in each. Red Duke of York, I don't even be able to tell, those skins look a wee bit ready, perhaps under the dirt, maybe not. But they're not chitting. Oh, that's got a chit on. But they're going in 10 litre pots. And I've got 6 varieties. And I've got 2 of each. So that's going to take 12 10-litre pots. And then I also have some that I've kept back that were store potatoes, which I'll show you in a minute. That's the card the lady made out for me, home guard. A couple of home guards there. Let's have a look. Yep, just a little chit start in there. Nothing on that one. So what we've got here. These are all early potatoes. Maris Bard. They're all early potatoes because they're going in a small pot. To be honest, a 10-litre pot is about as small as you'll go for growing potatoes in pots. And so there's no point in getting second earlies or main crop because they're just too big a potato basically for a small pot. And there's the last two. And the way the lady charged me for these, when I asked her how much they were, she said, well, let's put them on the scales. So she put them all on the scales together, weighed them, and charged me £2.50. Arran Pilot, 2 Arran Pilot there. And they aren't cheating either. So it cost me £2.50 for 12 sets, 12 early potatoes. Right, I've just brought these two out of store to show you. These are potatoes that were bought as eating potatoes from a local store, and they were in a plastic bag when I got them. So when I got them home, I decided I would keep some of these and try and grow these ones on as well. I know you're advised not to, you're advised to always have certified seed, but I thought, no, let's give it a go. And these are Annabelle, an early potato. Okay. Now then, we've got some chicks growing here. These have been kept in the cold, in the dark, and they've been kept dry, but as you can see they're ready to go. And then another interesting point about this is when you wrap things in newspaper like this, you can actually remember when you did it, and that was the 18th of November. So we're in the first week of February now. These were wrapped up in the 18th of November. I'll let you do the maths, but that's how long I've had these potatoes. I'll just keep them as they are for a while. There's no point in getting them away too early because the ground's too cold. It's too cold outside, and you can see that one's chitted up. And you can see they're a washed potato. The other ones I've just showed you, obviously they're meant for seed and they've got soil on them, but these are washed potatoes, but they've chitted up nicely. I'll keep them tucked away. We'll wait till the weather picks up a bit, then we'll bang them in. Okay, did you enjoy that? That's just a short video, wasn't it? It was my very first video. But what? There was something I was going to talk about, wasn't there? What was it? I was going to come back to something. I said I would cover it. Oh, that was it. I know what it is now. Payment, the method of payment and the receipt. Okay, so the method of payment was cash, which the lady put in the drawer. She got the change out and gave you your change, and off you went on your merry way. And that's what I did on that day, but on previous visits and subsequent visits, I've purchased more than one item. So I do recall purchasing a tin of paint, some paint brushes, and then I actually spotted some screws on the shelf behind the lady that was serving me, and I needed a few of those. So picture the scene. We have a tin of paint on the counter, we have some paint brushes on the counter, and I spotted these screws, and I said to the lady, I need some of those screws. She picked a box up from the counter from behind and popped it on the table, on the counter, and there was hundreds of screws in this box. And I said, I don't need that many. She said, well, how many do you need now? I think these, from memory, were something like 3-inch screws. And I'd done a wee bit of mental arithmetic, and I think I needed 6. Can't even remember what the job was. So I only needed 6. So she took the top off and took 6 screws out. So now we've got the tin of paint, the paint brushes and 6 screws. Now we need to work out how much this lot's going to cost. So the price was on the paint, the price was on the paint brushes, and she put a nominal price against the screws, a few pence, I don't know how much it was. But she pulled a paper bag out, a small white paper bag, and she wrote the price of the paint on it, the price of the paint brushes on it, and the price of the screws on it. Then she done some mental arithmetic. She told me how much I owed her. I put my hand in my pocket, pulled some cash out and paid. That went in the drawer and the change came out, and that was me on my way. But I couldn't help smiling when I got out of the shop, because I looked at this bag with the screws in, and there were the items, they were itemised, the prices, the maths, and I thought, that's my receipt. The receipt was the paper bag that I got the screws in. Hey, how multi-worldy is that? Well, I've got to tell you, the shop's still there, yeah. It by and large sells much the same as what it used to sell, but they do have a cash register now, they do have a till. So they've moved on a bit in time, haven't they? And I do believe they will take plastic. You can pay with your card. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. If you have enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't think much of it, give me a thumbs down. If you're not a member, why not? If you haven't subscribed, why not? You should do that really, shouldn't you? You know you want to now you've watched this video. Okay, so we'll be in the garden shortly. Another month or two, it'll start to warm up. We'll do some more gardening here at Homegrown Veg. I look forward to knocking out a few more videos. And until then, this is Homegrown Veg, signing out.